A thick blanket of dust in this sweltering heat. A blanket so thick, a layer so thick that the man behind the wheel, in all likelihood, is finding it quite difficult to find which is the road a sliver cut through landslide prone terrains and which is not. Each vehicle passing through the artery leaves behind a cloud, making it very difficult for every motorist to navigate the stretch and adding to the miseries of hapless passengers. Che garne, little inconveniences like these are a welcome step in our march toward progress and prosperity. What say you, guys? Still, there is a pattern to road construction and expansion works in Nepal. Monstrous earth-moving equipment start attacking our fragile terrains in the holy name of what else but development, in the name of road expansion, exposing stretches destabilized during the earlier phases to greater risks. Just to soothe your eyes, I'm just presenting to you some of the beautiful pictures of the summer. I took them myself. Yours truly is not an authority figure in road works, but his observation is that a fresh phase of expansion upgradation work begins not long after the completion of an earlier phase. What this causes is further destabilization of terrains that are too fragile anyway to meet burgeoning development requirements of humanity. Ever increasing vehicular pressure perhaps makes this expansion upgradation work mandatory. There is no escaping that pressure, but have our planners, exceptionally capable planners, policymakers, engineers, and contractors, have they seriously assessed whether these terrains, these fragile terrains, including very young and unstable mountains, can withstand this much of developmental pressure? Leave aside the cities, towns, and metropolises. Road construction has become synonymous with development in rural Nepal as well. Can young and fragile hills, can they withstand a constant onslaught of heavy equipment like bulldozers and cranes and whatnot? Who cares anyway? Almost every ward chair of this country has at least a dozer, a bulldozer, and they all need work to make a small fortune during their tenure. That is, if they are to make it to provincial and central levels through those periodic elections where like they have to literally buy every vote. Who does not need money? Who does not need a small fortune, by the way? Contractors, engineers, their near and dear ones, elected representatives, and their masters. They all need work and tidy profit out of it, don't they? Therefore, a beautiful hill that you saw a few days ago during a journey to your hometown or elsewhere, it may just have vanished, in the holy name of what else but development. Mother Nature and Father Sky won't be surprised in this part of the world, and you should not be either upon seeing a hill just missing, a hill just vanishing, just like that. Perhaps the hill has grown wings and flown away. What's more, if you are an absentee landowner, this is close to my experience, by the way. Your houses and sheds may have been bulldozed without notifying you. Who told you to build them and obstruct development in the first place? It's not my first hand experience, but like this is all too common in this age of development frenzy with scant regard for the environmental well being. And don't lose your sleep if your maize fields and paddy fields become roads overnight. This is closer to my very own experience. Uh, the country will march toward progress and prosperity through what used to be your ancestral property, and you should feel proud and happy about it, shouldn't you? Back to the road, beyond a small republic of dust, forests burn, hectares and hectares of them, leaving nearby settlements in grave peril. By the way, who taught our arsonists how to make fire? Prometheus? Who knows? Surprisingly, the shears, the lions of Singadarbars, that is, the lion palaces, at the federal, provincial, and local levels. These days, lion palaces are everywhere, at the federal level, at the provincial level, as well as the local level. Where are the lions of the lion palaces that dot the country these days amid this great tragedy, amid this unfolding tragedy? They are nowhere around. Where have they vanished? By the way, yours truly read somewhere that only a huge forest consisting of a complete food chain, a forest that is really rich in its flora and fauna, that kind of forest, only that kind of forest can provide for the Lion King and his kin. Only such a forest can provide for a lion pride. Take, for example, the Gir forest. This means what? This means that the beings at our lion palaces, those beings that inhabit our lion palaces at the federal, provincial, and local levels, they are they must be pretty much famished, shouldn't they? Quite feebly, perhaps, these beings are invoking Lord Indra, the god of rain, with their rusty mantras and mostly forgotten rituals, those ages old rituals to bring rain. leaving the divine rainmaker pretty much uninterested. Local people, meanwhile, are throwing their lives. They are throwing their lives at risk to put out the flames. Alas, water, mud, and green fodder are not enough to save villagers and animals from the wildfires, those wildfires that feed on neglect, those wildfires that feed on dry leaves and woods that have marched to the very courtyards of settlements, those settlements abandoned by immensely capable Nepalese searching for promised land that can do justice to their aspirations that seem to touch the peak of Mount Everest. Yours truly absorbed all this during a recent journey to his home district in western Nepal. In western Nepal, let me just quote an episode from history books. For those books, Emperor Nero would play the flute while Rome kept burning night after night after night. Yours truly does not know much about the alien corn of Rome and its fate under Emperor Nero. Back home, amid the flames and cries for help from a humanity caught in a wildfire, expanding all across the Republic with increasing intensity, yours truly hears a peculiar sound which is getting increasingly audible. Is this the sound of music coming from our lion palaces? Has this scribe lost his mind? He has no idea. Ignorance, indeed, ignorance is a bliss in a fool's paradise, isn't it? Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.